Hello and welcome to the biology topic, human body, lesson 3, movement. In this lesson, we're going to take a look about how we're able to move and the link between our muscles and forces and how much force a muscle applies to a bone to actually make it move and how that happens. So you can see from these images here, there's lots of movement, but how are we actually able to do that? How's the person that's climbing able to move her legs and arms to hang on and to move up that climbing wall? People running, the people on the bike, and the gymnast. All of those involve the movement of muscles and forces. So, how much force does a muscle apply to a bone? You can work it out. You can work it out. How much force does a muscle apply to a bone? This we're able to work out. So if we take a look at this here, you can see the muscle attached to the bone. The tendon attaches that muscle to the bone, and then the bone acts as a lever. So the elbow joint is a pivot. Okay, and it's a pivot because the rotation happens there, which enables the bone to move. So to work out how much force is applied, you've got to do several things. First of all, you've got to measure the distance from the pivot to the force. Then you've got to calculate the moment with that information. If we take a look at that, so to work that out, then it would be the moment equals the force multiplied by the perpendicular distance. So if we look at a diagram here, you've got the pivot highlighted, you can see the perpendicular distance, and you can also see the force. Okay, and there we've got the weight there, which will have a force of so many newtons. So in this example, we've got a perpendicular distance of 0.4 meters and a force of 15 newtons. And going on what we were showed, we're doing the moment equals the force times the perpendicular distance. So we're going to multiply the 15 newtons by 0.4, and that's going to give us a moment measured in Newton meters. And so the answer is 6 Newton meters. So there's the moment. Now, once you've got the moment calculated, you need to work out the force applied. So to do that, you have the moment divided by the perpendicular distance of the muscle from the elbow joint. Okay, that perpendicular distance is the distance between the muscle and the joint. So we use the 0.03 meters, and the moment we've already calculated is 6 Newton. So when you divide the 6 newtons by 0.03, you're going to get an overall force applied by the muscle of 200 newtons. Now, you need to be able to calculate that. So you need to be able to use the information that you're given to calculate that and work out the moment and the force in a given example. What you also need to be able to do is to label and understand where the perpendicular distance, how that's measured, or what the weight is, where the tendon is, and the muscles involved, and where the pivot is. Okay, so take a look at the worksheet and see if you can complete it. If you need to, rewatch this for your examples of how to do the calculations, because you'll have to do a couple of those as well. And we'll see you again soon for lesson 4.